Hello, I'm David Dominguez. This is my report on. This is my PowerPoint done in another program, but it's about 3D printing, shaping the future of today and tomorrow. Right here we have a little grinder thing there, but in 3D printing, a lot of things are printed in small objects or you know with using all kinds of materials. I remember I got into 3D printing when I was watching Star Trek when I was a kid, and I thought the replicators were a cool idea for some reason. I thought, what a great idea to have food or build objects or have things made for you in seconds. But unfortunately, we're not there yet in the case of making them done in seconds. But we'll get there sooner or later. So here's my report. So the technology area I'll be studying will be overview of what 3D printing is. So it's just just a basic run through of what it is pretty much. I will be discussing current trends of 3D printers. So what 3D printers are exactly what are they making right now? What kinds of stuff can be made with 3D printing? How that all kinds of stuff, all kinds of cool stuff can be made. Also, the applications of the technology. So, what's being used in 3D printing, or like what else can we use them for besides building objects for ourselves? Obviously, which is pretty fun, but we still have to find out what we're gonna do. And also, I'm also going to discuss the process of 3D printing, which is there's a few out there. It's all kind of simple. It's just designing, and then you put it in a machine. But there's more than one technique, which I will talk about, and then approaches to the future. So lastly, I will talk about what 3D printing can be and in the future, and how important it could how useful it is for right now and their society for tomorrow. So let's get going. Okay, so right here we have a picture. Right here we have a picture of a 3D printer. It's called, the brand is a MakerBot, which is a pretty good brand. But you can pretty much buy 3D printers now. They're the cheapest. I think they go for like $6,000. So if anybody wanted to get into purchasing one, learning how it's done, you can go ahead and look online and find other ones you can get. And here in the picture to the top right is a 3D printer and how it makes a something small like a car, like a little car for you. And the bottom right is it's a 3D printing of faces. So in case I'll get more into that here, but I think a lot of things can be done. It's just not objects, but you can start printing with like body parts out. So we'll get more into that later. Okay. So the current trends of 3D printing are, stuff for vehicles like cars, motorcycles, and airplanes. A lot of accessories are being made right now, such as glasses, shoes, bows. Certain instruments are being made right now, such as guitar, drum kits, and pianos. Organs are also made, but not like instruments. Although there are organ instruments made by 3D printers, but like organs like hands, teeth, legs, feet or stuff like that are also regrown through 3D printing. And a very controversial thing that's also being done are the weapons and the knives, the pistols, and the machine guns. So we'll get into that in a bit. So with vehicles and cars, so to the middle of the top, we have a 3D printed airplane. Yes, that airplane was made from a 3D printer. It's amazingly. Also, we under the bottom left, we have a 3D printed car. which looks it's pretty rad right here. And to the bottom right, we also have a 3D printed motorcycle right here on display in the museum. So each of these vehicles seem to work, and they're just gonna get better and better. Okay, sorry, something strange happened right there, but so yeah. Anyway, these are shoes, glasses, and bows. Made from 3D printers. Okay, next slide. Here are 3D printers made for instruments like guitars, that whole drum set right there, and keyboards. So that looks pretty rad right there. I wouldn't mind building a whole instrument rack from that. Okay, and more importantly, here are the organs that are created from 3D printers, such as a leg, a hand, and even facial parts like teeth and parts of your face like eyeballs, which is pretty cool. So people that have been through accidents or were born with a certain body part out, 3D printers definitely can make that happen for you. They're gonna make dreams come true, obviously. And last but not least, the controversial weapons. So in the United States, it's legal for people to make weapons and carry them because we can do that here. But in China, a few people were arrested for making uh, weapons from 3D printers. So that's a little trivia for you in case you were wondering. So we have a machine gun, we have a pistol, and we also have knives that are made from 3D printers. So a lot of weapons can be used or made, with this machine. Okay, moving on. Applications of the technology in the field of art. So 3D printers are also used in the field of architecture, healthcare, and things for the environment. So let's get to it. So architecture. 3D printers have been used to design buildings and cities. Right here is a 3D model of San Francisco, and I've also seen other photos used for people to make. In order for people to make buildings done correctly, they have a little prototype made from a 3D printer, which is kind of cool. Next is like a 3D, in the healthcare system, 3D printers have aided organs in order to further its studies in the field. So if people want to investigate a crime scene, for example, and they want to see how a head weighs when it's chopped off or something, and they want to do a replica of the head or the eyeball or the hand, they can use 3D printers to make those, and it'll be precise. So that's pretty cool. And also, they can be used for the environment. So a lot of plants have been made from making these, from these 3D printers, which is pretty cool. So, and also these underwater reefs have been made to keep, biology underwater under certain, cities and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. So, let's see what else. Okay. The 3D printing process. There's pretty much 3 printing processes. There's selective laser sintering, fuse deposition modeling, and stereolithography. Oh, stereolithography. Stereolithography. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. So here's a process of the selective laser sintering, when the object is separated by a laser, then brought back together in layers, which is one technique of doing it. The second technique is fuse deposition modeling, which uses nozzles to create like great detail in it, like pens. That's another technique. And the final technique is stereolithography. There you go, stereolithography. Sorry, guys, I need my glasses. Which is done by a single pointed laser making each layer, which is pretty cool. So those are the three we have here. And what the future source for 3D printers is that it will change the nature of commerce, which it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. But a lot of people will not be ordering materials because they'll be making it themselves. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed this course as much. I learned a lot. I actually used PowerPoint or Keynote. So this